Hello everyone, welcome to the Bishop Stopford School podcast. I'm joined by Year 8 today. We've got Adrian, we've got Camira, we've got Sean and we've got Mariam. And today we're going to be discussing and talking about forgiveness. So the first question I'm going to throw to you guys is, what does forgiveness mean exactly?
I think forgiveness is like when someone's done something to you and like you want them to apologise to you. So then you ask them, and once they did that you like say it's okay now and you can be friends.
Okay, so forgiveness, so you're saying forgiveness is about moving forward and about moving on. Brilliant, fantastic. Adrian, what do you think?
Forgiveness is to clear your mind of what someone has done bad to you.
Fantastic. How about you, Sean?
I think it's letting go of like what happened in the past and like moving on from it, and both of you are like have like you're just mutual against it, so like you won't like talk about it or like get mad over it anymore.
I think forgiveness is when you like accept someone's apology after they did something wrong to you, and they say sorry, and then you move on.
Fantastic. So we've kind of come to a consensus that forgiveness is all about that moving on. How does forgiveness and forgetting come hand in hand? Can anyone share about forgiving and forgetting?
I think
I would say that's in the middle, because it's hard to forget, because usually it's something they've done really bad to you and you can't really forget straight away.
And is it always easy? Is it easier to forgive or is it easier to forget? How about you, Sean?
I don't think it's easy too, because it depends on like the weight of what someone has done to you, and forgetting, like it can be engraved in your mind sometimes. Like you try to forget, but it doesn't really happen sometimes. And forgiving is just like you're just saying you're okay now, like you're fine with it, but it doesn't really come hand in hand with forgetting, because you can't really forget that easily as you can forgive.
Yeah, good point. So you're saying kind of sometimes we forgive in our heart, but in our head we sometimes hold on to these memories, we hold on to these things.
Yeah.
And then that's where we look at kind of holding grudges. So then when we look at holding grudges, why is it better to forgive than hold grudges? What benefit does when we forgive someone, does it benefit us? Does it benefit the person we're forgiving?
It benefits yourself, because when you forgive, it relieves yourself, and when you hold a grudge, it just keeps you stressed.
It's like when you like hold something in that's hurting you, you feel like you're just gonna slowly slip away and not be yourself where you're holding that inside.
Good point.
When you hold a grudge against someone, it's like you try your best to avoid them, which could lead to like you doing like things that you're not supposed to be doing. Then you'd get in trouble for that. So it's not very good to try and keep a grudge for very long.
when you forgive, it's better to forgive, because then you'll have like a better positive mindset. But then if you like hold a grudge, then you'll just like fight, like it will get worse, and the grudge will get worse, and then you'll just get worse with the person.
Yeah, excellent point. So you're saying letting go of grudges and bitterness can help us to improve our health. It can keep us kind of feeling positive, can't it? It can improve our self-esteem, and that comes hand in hand with improving our mental health. Can anyone tell me about a time when they've been betrayed, or when they've needed to give forgiveness to someone because they've done something to us, and how did you go about that?
So when I was younger, me and my sister were on a trampoline, and she accidentally kicked me in the eye. So then it took like a few days to like forgive her for what happened, but like she did it on accident, so I couldn't really be mad at her for too long. So then we were friends, but like yeah, it was kind of bad for that to happen.
So you've recognised that the intention, that someone done something to you, but their intention wasn't actually to hurt you, so you've kind of overlooked the situation and you've forgiven. Excellent. Sean, has anyone ever betrayed you or upset you?
Well, in year 6 I did have a fight with one of my friends, and we didn't talk for a while after it, and like after a while we thought we probably should like forgive each other for what happened. I forgot what it was about, but then like after that we were fine and everything was like back to normal.
So how do we as people, how do we as people of this school, how do we as people of God and people of the world, how do we go about forgiving people, especially when they haven't recognised that they've done something wrong to us?
I think it's best to like tell them that they've done something instead of like sitting there with that like guilty feeling, like not telling them like, oh, you've done something that hurts me, and just living with it while they're sitting there having a good life.
So you're saying the first step, step number one, is to talk.
Yeah.
Excellent. Adrian, do you have any other steps?
I agree with Kamara, because it's not really healthy to hold grudges, and when you do, you might feel a bit faint or thinking about them all the time without going on the day.
And you could get depressed.
So you're saying it could affect the way that you feel. How could it affect the way you feel when we don't forgive?
Well, I guess for one, you could overthink stuff, which will give you anxiety. And then also, because like you might be lonely because you don't have like the person that you have like a grudge against, so you don't have them in your life that much anymore, like in a positive way.
Especially when we look at forgiveness in school, how do we go about doing the right thing when we sometimes do wrong? So if we, let's say, are talking while the teacher's talking, or we're doing something that isn't following the school rules or is leading to other people being distracted, and a teacher tells us off, how do we go about that forgiveness to the teacher? How do we move on from that situation?
I think you apologize first, and then you start like change and stop like distracting everyone. So the teacher could see that you actually like care and that you actually moved on from doing that.
Excellent. So it's the first step is taking responsibility for our actions, isn't it? Because sometimes when we're doing little things, sometimes we're very quick to say, oh no, it wasn't me, it wasn't me, it wasn't me, and that doesn't help the situation. So the first step is taking responsibility for our actions. And then how else do we go about seeking forgiveness? And you've defined forgiveness as kind of moving on and letting go. So how do we let go of these situations that are holding us down?
You sort the problem out. So like, say the teacher was telling you off for speaking to a friend, and then you would like tell the teacher, oh, but it wasn't me and that, it was that person that was speaking. You should then truly take the problem for yourself and say, yeah, I was talking, but because that person was included with it, you should say that person was talking, but I started it.
So again, the first step is taking responsibility, and then, but how about the appropriateness? When is the appropriate time to go about that letting go, that forgiveness, and making a situation that was wrong and turning it to a right situation?
Like when you've like spoke about it and like everyone's fine with it, is when you can like start like loosening up about it.
Okay, but what's the best way when we do something wrong in lesson, or if there's someone in our class that is misbehaving? What advice do you have to them to correct their behaviour, to let go, to forgive, and to move on?
You can respect the teacher and like do what they want you to do and do the work. And stop talking to your friend.
I think first off you can just like talk to a teacher about it and like say that like something happened and sorry like that you did it. And second off you can just go back and like just like retrace all your mistakes and like make a new so you don't do it again, and so you can't get in trouble for it afterwards.
And how does our mannerism, how does the way we act show if we said the word sorry and we apologise, but how can we show that we're sorry through our actions?
You can ask the teacher to move you to a different seat so that you're no longer getting distracted and talking to your friend.
Yeah, take away the whole talking to a friend. Remove that example. We're just saying not showing the correct behaviour. You do something wrong. You talk with attitude. You get defensive. You argue back. What are the genuine steps in that class that when you do something wrong, how can you make your wrongs right?